This is our copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. And we got the studio open tonight, so we're going to hang out a bit and see where we flow tonight. And we're doing another late one tonight. Not sure if you caught the one last night, but yeah, we're going to probably get into the rhythm doing these night streams as well. I'm an owl. I'm a night owl, so I do like the vibe at night. I don't know if some of you aren't awake at this time. Some of you are on the East Coast or maybe different parts of the planet. So maybe the hours don't work for you. And we do it random. You never know. So you might catch us live. You might catch us on the rebound. I'm setting things up here. The studio got the monitor on there. We'll see if anyone comes and hangs out with us. Tuesday night, almost 11 p.m. here on the West Coast. And we're going to continue a few things. We're going to touch on some new reports just added into a couple of the websites we like to check out. And what's up, Blazer? I guess it's just maybe you and I tonight, bro. Hopefully you don't have to go to work tomorrow. I do, but yeah, Tuesday we made it through most of it. I got this funny. I don't know if I've worn this one, but it's pretty comfortable. We're supposed to get rain, so all of a sudden the weather started changing. Started getting really windy and little chilly. I'll say chilly. I won't say cold because y'all know what cold is, but yeah, I started getting a little chilly, and then we haven't gotten any rain yet, but people are reporting it in different parts of the county, different parts of SoCal, starting to get little droplets. I'm not sure how much rain we're supposed to get, but we could have a look. Yeah, getting back into the habit of darn it. Here we go. Checking the weather here. Retired since I was 23. That's what's up, bro. Much respect. So it's Blazers world now. U.S. Navy medical retired in 1998. Wow, Blazer, that's super cool, bro. And thank you for your service. Salute to that. And I need to make sure that because I'm southpaw, I'm left-handed, but I'm sure it's you probably salute with the right hand. Most things you do with the right hand, right? Or left. You're gonna rain. Salute Diesel in the house. What is Diesel up to right now? Is he editing? Is he doing some of his Diesel art? I wonder. So yeah, we can see a bit of rain we're gonna get overnight. And it looks like it's gonna clear up in the morning in the AM, but still cloudy. And 46 in Garberville, 51 in Trinidad, 53 in Frisco. The Queen would say Weaver Puke, 43. It's Weaverville. Chico, 51. Arcata, 49. Willow Creek, where Bigfoot is. Yep. Yeah, I bet you Bigfoot's in Willow Creek right now. 44. Hopefully it's nice where you're at. Blazer said, right. And Patrick Noble, if you're listening later, brother, I got your message. I gave you a follow on Insta. So you could share, we could share stuff there now. He was going to share some prints, I believe, in the snow. And we had a little trouble bringing that up last night. And we're going to try and check that out. Hopefully he sends them over. It's weird. I got his message. I responded back and I was like, hey, I didn't hear anything back. So hopefully Patrick's all right. Clear today here, 44 high. No sky trails, no fart trails at all. Thank goodness. Not one, nada. You know, I heard recently that supposedly Mexico has no sky farts, which I find that hard to believe, but I don't know. We got to fact check, Blazer. Can we fact check that? Yeah, I hear it's banned out there. I'm like, well, why don't we do something like that? Diesel says, got a consultation tomorrow for my teeth. Were you getting some fronts, some fangs put in? What's going on here, Diesel? Thinking about getting all my teeth replaced, full implant. Oh, right on. Getting some Venezis. Yeah, it's about that time. I think my little run to the dentist. It's about due. Usually they hit me up, but I've been jumping the gun and hitting them up, lining up my appointment. And I think it's about that time of year again. So thanks for reminding me, Diesel. Let's see. Clear today. Yes. Do it. I had it done when I was 33. Tooth pain sucks. Yeah. I got one in the back that I'm supposed to get worked on, but I just ain't got the bread for that. So I'm just letting it hang on. And I was one of those dudes that did the wisdoms one by one. I think I have one left. And I might hang on to it because I need all the wisdom I need. Yes. Let's see. A lot of my back teeth are, yeah. Might as well. Yeah. Why not, bro? Do it. And you get the fangs nice and sharp if need be. Or you could just get the gold fronts, silver's up, gold's up. Yeah, no, that's good, man. Why not follow your heart? All right, so let's get into it. All right, we did the weather, got the weather out the way. What else is going down around town, around the hill? Boom. Yes, sir. So it looks like one, right? One green dot there. Don't be fooled. So if you're checking the map out, always be sure to drop the man, drop the squatch. And I think this has happened to us before. I was like, all right, cool. A new report there. So I dropped the man. And this is another border one with Kansas and Missouri. And we got some peeps from Missouri, right? And I know the Queen's got some links to Kansas. Kansas City. There's a Kansas City on both sides, right? There's Kansas City, Missouri, and Kansas City, Kansas, right? And they're both different. Haven't been yet. Been told about it. Someone wants to take me. I'm totally down. But yeah, if you drop the man or drop the squatch a little more, you can see, boom, it's two actually two reports. So always remember to drop the squatch to get a closer look. And we'll have a quick read here. Yeah, some bedtime reports, bedtime Bigfoot reports with Brother Dwarf. Yeah, who do we know? Paranormal Paul, I think, is from Missouri, right? Paranormal Paul, Krista. and they were on tonight. Good show. They had, who was the guy's name? I think it's Paranormal 411. Yeah, I gave him a sub, dropped him a message. Yeah, he does the paranormal stuff. Very interesting. He had some gadgets he was showing, cameras. They're talking gadgets and cameras tonight. Yeah, Paranormal Palm on YouTube. Make sure you peep it if you missed it. And if you like that type of content, and then you always have the beautiful Natalie Smearman as well. And she's now part of the Blondes and Booze. One more addition to the Blondes and Booze. Yeah, I'd go out investigating with those ladies. Why not? Sounds like a fun and creepy time. So the date and time of sighting of this one is 5/10/17, 2017, 4:30. So a little after that, that sesh time, 10 minutes after 4:20. And don't blame it on that. Height 8 feet. And blazer, it was a male. They must have seen something. I don't know. Let's see, no vocalization, and it says we'll do our best to read. We were able to zoom in last time, and we're gonna zoom in this time too to help me not fumble and stumble so much on the reading here. Y'all hang out in the chat. Oh, what's up, Garrett? We got Garrett up in the house. So it's just the guys hanging out tonight, seems like. Maybe some of the ladies are lurking. Yeah, we're gonna get through some of these reports really quick. Or not really quick. We're gonna take our time. We're not rushing this. We got time here. I think Gerald's retired as well. Diesel is self-employed. So I think we're good. No one's gotta, and then if need be, I could be late. I could call out. I rarely do. I don't think I've ever and if I do, there's a good reason, of course. So it says, as reported to investigator Margie K, I was fishing in a stream at the Sugar Creek Conservation Area along with two of my cousins. We had been quiet for a while, just watching our fishing poles. That is fishing. And remember, there is a difference between fishing and catching fish. Yes, I have learned that. So check this out. When I zoom in, I can't scroll up. So I'm going to have to zoom back out here. So it says, just watching our fishing poles when a huge Bigfoot stepped out of the woods and to the stream about 100 feet away from us. Whoa. Yeah, you better start catching fish at that point and leave at least one. But at that point, I'd leave probably all the fish I'd catch. He just looked back and forth in, and let's see. We're not going to guess what it says there. All right, scrolling a little bit. And yes, I have cottonmouth, and I have a little coconut water. So I'll reach for it in a bit once I start really like, as I snuck in a quick throat clear there. So it was 100 feet away from them. He just looked back and forth in the stream as if looking for fish. About 10 to 15 minutes, then turned and walked back into the woods. He never looked at us or seemed to notice us. We all froze, not moving or saying a word as we watched this creature. He had a conical head, huge chest, long arms, and was very muscular. Damn. Diesel Squatch. As soon as he was out of sight, We all grabbed our gear and headed for the car. Yeah, that sounds about right. And never returned to that spot again. It was in May of 2017 at dusk, but I don't remember the exact date. Yeah, I feel you. I did not believe in Bigfoot before that, but now I know he is real. Wow. Yeah, man. What a life-changing moment. Jeez. And so not too far away, we'll see. Yeah, I think that was a pretty good report. Now, what's up with this one of three here? Reported in the last 48 hours. Reported in the last 10 days. Okay. Exit out of that. And so let's see, Kansas City, very nearby. And Highway 70, I see here at the bottom. And were there other squatches around? Not in this particular area. It looks pretty see, pretty developed. I mean, there's a lot of green little patches here. But yeah, the big city ain't too far away. And next to that, let's see. So that's South Blue Valley, and I see Western Blue Township towards the right there. And this other report is very near Independence. We'll drop the squad, see if we see any more. And again, those diamonds I think might be like plants or bugs or wildlife. We did get a report recently that included some audio, which was super cool. So this is 10/31/17. So same year as the last report. And since it's submitted at the same time and very, very close to each other, I wonder if it could be the same person. Let's take a look here. So 10/31/17. And there's Minxie. We got a Minxie sighting. And Shelly. Good to see you, Shelly. Glad you're hanging out. We're reading these Bigfoot reports just freshly submitted to the Bigfoot Mapping Project. And yes, there's also one just submitted a few hours ago because I was checking earlier today. Nothing. Oh, it's y'all know what time it is? West Coast. Got it right on time. I just happened to look at the phone here. It's 11:11 11:11 11:11 11:11 11:11 11:11 11:11 11:11. Right. Make your wishes. What do you do? Light a bowl? We won't do that now. I probably would. 10/31/17 9:58 p.m. 8-footer. I think was the last one an 8-footer as well. And we got to bring up Momo as well. Momo's from Missouri, right? Momo the monster. Can we confirm that? I'm pretty sure Momo's from Missouri. And who else? Fairy Frequency on YouTube. It's been a minute. You did touch base. I think it was last year. Bless up, girl. Hope you're doing well. I know you're out in Missouri also. We've talked about Momo. So this one again, a male, no vocalization. And it says, I was sitting outside with my adult daughter and her son after a Halloween party at our house when we heard some strange owl sounds. I told my daughter that I thought it was something mimicking owls and not actual owls. So how does that go? Does it go? And then Uh, and I've had that happen before up on the hill. We'd get the barred owls and different types of owls, and but there was one night I remember particular. It was like 5 or 6. I would imagine I couldn't see; it was dark, but I could hear they were all sounding off, and I could almost like echolocate. No, I don't have that ability, but I was trying to use my ears and trying to like pinpoint where they were. So I had an idea, and it kind of was a circle, and there was one, and who knows, maybe could have been a male with a bunch of females or something like that. But there was one that was just doing a way off, different, not barred owl call, and I know they could do different calls, but it was just different. And I was like, man, is this what people talk about? Could it be them? Yeah, who knows? So we listened as they got closer and closer to us from far away. Next, we heard gravel crunching under the feet of someone very large walking on the railroad tracks. Uh huh. That's one of our pointers. Should be in your notes. Railroad tracks. And the railroad tracks behind our house. We both stood up and went into the house. Yes, since we didn't know what it was that could have made those sounds. It was a bipedal person or creature that was very large, and that is all we know. Oof. All right, we got some more to read here. The next evening, I was on my side deck and I saw a shadow under the roof overhang on the shed in the backyard. I had to clear my throat there. On the shed in the backyard, about 50 feet from my position. It was about 8 feet tall because it was barely under the overhang. Mm-hmm. That is creepy. The shadow then took a step forward into the moonlight, and I could see very clearly that it was a brown colored male Bigfoot. Oof. Seen the whole package, huh? La enchilada. I could clearly see his face and hair on his body. I did not move, but just watched it. Then I received the telepathic message. Here we go. A message. There we go. From him not to be afraid and that he meant no harm. Awesome. But that, I don't know, that could be deceiving too. I wouldn't feel like fully comfortable. I mean, that's comforting, but you never know. When yeah, it's okay. Don't worry, I'm not going to do anything to you. And it says, but just wanted to let me know he was there. Yeah. We live in the middle of Independence next to a railroad cut with a lot of trees. I think they are moving along that cut where they are normally out of sight. What up, Star Fox? Come jump in the chat over here, bro. Getting some messages. They are normally out of sight. I have since heard the railroad rails clanging together once in a while late at night when no one is around. And I think they are messing with the rails at that spot. The RR Railroad Company came out the next morning after I heard the clanging, and they were resetting the rails. So something happened to them overnight. Color brown. Booty brown squatch. Wow. Very interesting report there. Super cool. Both out of Missouri. Yeah, Missouri getting on the map there. That's what's up. And you can see, look, now you can see some of the squatches. So there is a few in the surrounding areas. It's pretty interesting. Quite a few concentrated over here. Yeah, and I don't doubt it. Where is Momo from? Let's I don't know, let's have a quick look and see if this Vice article here. I remember Vice back in the day here when I was living in LA, and I think that's when they first started. It used to be like a huge magazine, and it was for free, and it just had all this cool like subculture stuff in there, and I would pick it up all the time, record store, or usually the cool places, some cool shop somewhere would have them. And I remember that's when I first got into Vice, and then I remember when they bumped up and started doing and this time I was living on Sunset Strip, West Hollywood. They started doing their broadcasting, different reports throughout the world and stuff like that. And then now they're on a different level. I do follow them on YouTube, but yeah, I guess the main guy is Shane. I forget his last name, but yeah, I seen a interview with him talking about the whole Vice thing and where they're at, and when they started. Very interesting. And yeah, I do follow it still. Anyone check out Vice? And I know they have tienen Vice en español también. Do they have it in any other languages? I don't know. So yeah, this is the Missouri, yeah, Missouri monster. Momo. See, Momo is from Missouri. Is the cryptid time forgot. And we'll just read a little bit here. So in 1972, the town of Louisiana, Missouri, was home to many alleged sightings of a large Bigfoot like creature. The story goes that two young boys and their sister first spotted the 7 foot tall hairy beast on the edge of the woods just outside of town, emanating a foul odor. Oof. There goes the Squatch Funk. I guess you could pull this one up for that too. I mean, what is it? Is maybe it's Bigfoot uh, laying an SBD or a loud one, or is it people have theorized about glands under the armpits. Thomas Seawood the other night was talking about that, or that about the scent glands in humans, and the squatches may have like possibly some of the same glands as well, or something like that. It was interesting. So the foul odor was emanating. The creature was carrying a dead dog, according to the folklore. According, sightings of the Missouri monster, or Momo. Yeah. Exploded that year, and the town experienced monster fever. Oof. Yeah, that's super fascinating when I hear that in reports, when things start happening in town and it seems like the whole town gets stirred up. And there's several cases of that type of stuff. And one, we're gonna get into also a few things we did last night. What up, Russell? Glad you could hang out for a little bit, bro. Are you retired as well? Are we all retired? I mean, I'm not quite retired, but everybody else in the chat seems to be, which is awesome. Yeah, you get to hang out with us tonight. Yeah, anyone got any Momo stories? I'm missing the chat here. Back to reading. All caps does help. And then also, if I totally miss it, then drop a message after. So, sightings of the Missouri monster, or Momo, exploded that year, and every town experienced monster fever. At one point, a 20-person posse was put together to kill the beast, but the creature was never found. One of the few surviving Momo witnesses, Richard Allen Murray, told Motherboard that he was driving near Louisiana's town Branch, a small creek that runs through the middle of the town. At around 11 p.m., as he was passing a small hill, he noticed something moving. Turning his truck towards the hill, his headlights illuminated a strange upright figure covered in brown hair. We're just hearing one of those reports right now, brown hair as well. Murray guessed the creature was about 20 feet away, and when it realized he was there, it quickly hurried over the hill and disappeared. Murray, a lifelong local who has served as the town's fire chief and sat on the city council, was surprised by his sighting. I was amazed to see something. I thought it was a bunch of nonsense, but then I saw something, Murray said. In hindsight, Murray admitted that his sighting could have been nothing more than a bear. But at the time, the supposed monster was on everyone's brain. And there's the trailer. Super cool. They got the V dub. You know, I'm a big VW guy. Yep. Had a 73 bus for many years, over 20 years. So, but I love the bugs. I love all the different VW vehicles, especially the older ones. And yeah, of course, they mentioned Seth Breedlove, who is the shot caller, big baller from STM. And it goes more here about the article. So super cool article, super cool that Vice covered that. Momo. All right, we're heading on over to the BFRO. Juliana McGill, I'm failing on barn chores tonight. City Council got my attention. Instead, definitely dive down the rabbit hole with my homies as I keep scooping, feeding, and shoveling. Oh, man. You're living the life, Juliana. Believe me, I wish. I can't wait till I'll be saying the same things. And big up to all of you living off grid, on the farm, or even if you're on grid, on the farm, on the hill, or even if you're in the city, concrete jungle. It's all good. It's all love. I love it all. And y'all know if you ever want to come out to the city, you're more than welcome. Your boy BD got you. Anywhere you want to go in SoCal, count on me. Just got to pay for gas. All right. So here we are, BFRO. What? Yeah. BFRO. Reports added recently. Yes, sir. Yeah, your boy BD be checking for the Squatch reports, and we got a fresh one today as well. So yeah, quite a little treat. And where are we going? We're going to Kentucky. Mm-hmm. Y'all see there? Going to Kentucky. We're oh yeah, I was watching. Yeah, Mason County. Oh, watch out. So 1978 Class A. Oof. It should be good. Dairy farmer. Yeah, shout out to all. See, if you're dairy farming, whatever you're farming, shout out to all the farmers. Former Marine as well. Yes, sir. Salute. Sees line of Bigfoots. 7. Whoa. 7. We get 7 whoops for that. No, you get one. Damn, on his farm 10 miles west of Maysville. All right, who of us is staying out near Maysville? We need some eyes out there right now. Even though this happened back in 78. Let's check this out. We got to check this one out. Oh. link link to a YouTube video. Well, that helps. That's cool. We like watching YouTube videos. So let's see. Hopefully, maybe there's a little something to read on it here. Could we advertise our YouTube videos on here like that as well? Yeah, there's something to read here. Let's check it out. Yeah, I'll be checking that out later, you guys. Like, dairy farmer saw 7 Bigfoots exclusive doing ASMR. 7 Bigfoots exclusive interview. KBRO. I don't know. Are we sub to them? Possibly. All right. And starting us off with some mappage also, which is cool. We like maps. Other witness, 1, time and conditions, 4:30 again. 10, what is it with 4:30? We just read a report that was yeah, 10 minutes after 4:20 again. All right, we need to start paying attention, close attention, 10 minutes after 4:20, folks. So after that sesh, eyes peeled. Environment pastures with small ridges, creeks, and forest. Yep, sounds like my type of environment. Follow-up investigation report by BFRO investigator Charlie Raymond. You could see Ohio there, and you get some GPS coordinates with a red. Yep, it's red, just like this giant pencil here. A red pin, white arrow. You know, a lot of people get offended when the arrows are not red. But you got a red pin. 1978 Class A sighting by a very credible dairy farmer 10 miles west of Maysville, Kentucky. Yeah, no, I was watching this YouTube video, and it's this guy, and he's, you know, I would imagine he's from Indian descent, but he's British. Goes out to Kentucky to, I guess, one of the most racist parts of the state, and they said, I guess, if not the country, and he taps in, and it was a very interesting documentary. A northern Kentucky dairy farmer reported a daylight, wow, sighting of 7 large, dark, upright figures resembling Bigfoots on December 23rd, circa 1978. The encounter took place around 4:30 p.m. on a farm less than 1 mile outside of Germantown. Yeah, thought it said that. Kentucky near Highway 10 and Walton Pike. This area is near the Ohio River. Note, river. 43 miles southeast of Cincinnati. While preparing to milk cows, let me tell you, I was reading that, and then also it was taking me back to this milking cow experience I had in Mexico once. Yeah, I was getting whipped by the cow's tail. Yeah, lucky I didn't get kicked or anything like that, but it was pretty funny. Yeah, your boy knows how to milk cows. While preparing to milk cows, the witness observed the figures approximately 200 to 230 yards away, walking single file across a ridge line. So my question would be, another case that comes up is what is it, the Yellowstone Bigfoot? Y'all know that one, the footage from about 12 years ago or something like that. Thinker Thunker's done a breakdown, and it's interesting, very interesting. I hope they are Bigfoots. I'd be hunting some bison too. Uh, but the way they were like in uniform order, right? It was like the tallest one was in the back, and then it went to the next size, the next size, the next size to the smallest one. So I question if they were in any order like that, from like biggest to smallest or smallest to biggest. Hmm. One individual at the front of the group stopped, turned, and appeared to look directly at the witness while the others continued past. After the last figure descended the hill, the lead individual rejoined the group and all seven moved into a wooded creek area. The witness briefly attempted to approach the area but stopped after 16 Holstein heifers in a nearby pasture suddenly stampeded by him. Maybe they got spooked or something, huh? Although armed, the witness chose not to pursue further and returned to the house. I wonder if he went back to check for tracks later or something like that. He described the figures as uniformly dark black, similar in size, spaced apart, and moving in a coordinated manner. No vocalizations nor smell were reported, and probably be hard to tell on the farm too. Weather conditions were clear and sunny with excellent visibility. The witness was alone at the time. He had no other sightings before or after the event. Wow. He has only heard other reports from the region. Due to social stigma, he did not openly discuss the sighting for many years. Typical. He is now in his late 70s. He was a Marine who fought in Vietnam. Vietnam vet, salute. Thank you for your service, sir. He was very reluctant to be interviewed, filmed, due to being ridiculed. However, I persuaded him for an audio interview off camera. He is very sincere and highly credible, in my opinion. He said, I ran down towards the stable along the fence line, thinking I might see where they went. The pasture they were heading into had trees and open ground. As I approached the creek gate, the 16 Holstein heifers I had pastured back there suddenly stampeded uphill toward me. I jumped out of the way and let them pass. That's when it hit me. There were seven of them. Even though I was carrying a .41 Magnum with 5 rounds, I realized I had no business going down there. I didn't even want to shoot them anyway. Sorry. I turned around and went back to the house. So there's the, let's see, dairy farmer Charlie Raymond. Can you describe their appearance? So the dairy farmer says they were dark black as far as I could tell. I didn't notice any brown or reddish tint. All seven were roughly the same size, though the one in front appeared slightly smaller than the one behind it. None stood out as significantly shorter or taller. They were spaced apart, not walking shoulder to shoulder. I don't remember noticing exaggerated arm swinging. I was too focused on what I was seeing. As they started down the hill, the one in front stopped and turned his face toward me. I stood there watching a while. The others continued past in single file. When the last one reached the point where only the tops of their heads and torsos were visible, that first figure turned, stepped back into line, and followed them into the creek. This sighting took place only about 8 miles as the squatch flies, says Crow, or or Bigfoot's walk. I like that. To a rash of sightings around 1980 in Maryville's, Kentucky, some of which are on file with the local police department and made newspaper headlines. Interesting. It'd be cool to dig some of that stuff up. And I know Eric over at Media Palace might be interested in digging it. I'm going to send him this, see if he maybe tries to pull Foya in that one. Foya. So it made headlines, also known as, AKA, the Maysville Monster. Whoa. All right, we got I just learned a new one there. We got Momo in Missouri, the Maysville. You know, there's the Sykesville. That's what's his name's sighting? Lon Strickler, right?
Maysville Monster.
All right, and look, here are those encounters from Maysville. So October 7th, 1980, 9:30, Fulton family heard something on their porch, long-haired, white ape-like creature. Uh-huh, you heard that right.
White.
Ape-like creature. Glowing pink-colored eyes threw a pet rooster against the side of the house. Oof. Mr. Fulton fired his .22 upon it twice as it made its escape. Another occasion, it stole frozen meat from an outside freezer. Yep, heard that before. Yeah, those raid smokers, dumpster dive, coolers. Take your whole 24 pack, son. Don't want to see a drunk squatch. Multiple sightings by motorists. So November 5th, 1980. And so look, the dates October, November. Keeping an eye on that. 1985 AM, US 68. This incident is on file with the Maysville, Kentucky Police Department. All right. An Alabama truck driver was hauling steel west of US Route 68 when he saw a figure on the opposite side of the highway. Hello. Reminds me of my Trinidad sighting. Opposite side of the highway. He slowed his vehicle and turned on his high beams, thinking that it was a hitchhiker. When he approached the figure, he was shocked to see an ape like creature with white, yep,
White.
hair 6 to 7 feet tall. Wow. It's the same creature. Probably is a couple months later, late 2002 and early 2003 night. For witness Kentucky 435 and Clyde T. Barber Highway, 6 to 7 feet tall, black, long, wet hair. Maybe it took a dip in the creek or something. Summer 2006. All right, here we go. 4 p.m. So this time it's 20 minutes before that 1 hour. US 62, two witnesses, dark brown, black, and bulky. 7.5 foot to 8 foot tall. Wow. So Charlie Raymond is the investigator on that. Is that Charlie? It looks like Charlie there. Right on, Charlie. Thank you for that. Thank you for sharing this with us. And then, so we recently learned about the flats, right? The BFRO flats, where they have tons of reports, but the ones that get shared publicly, it's only a few. So I don't know how it goes, how they decided to do this, but they dropped this one today. So there you have it, fresh, freaky, fresh. Yeah, BFRO. Thank you to the BFRO for that. And man, let's see where are we at here. I wanted to. Let's see. We won't pull up any other databases. I think that was pretty good. We got some fresh new reports in, 3 of them in. We won't dive any deeper there. We got some bonus extra reports from the Maysville area, so that was cool. I think we could maybe jump on to the next thing. What did I have lined up? I did want to get back into the whole Dr. Johnson thing. And P&W Rush, what's up, brother? Sorry, I was in the zone over here getting through these reports, and I see there he is, brother Star Fox. What up? Here, let me jump in the chat over here. Let's give you a tool. Oh, oh, whoops. I gave him the wrong tool. So, boom, let's try that again. I'm glad. There we go. And let's see. I'm gonna try and read. Let's see. What up, bro? Much love to you as well, brother Star Fox. Yeah, glad you did, bro. We got your messages. And I usually shout you out here, bro. Like a lot of times I'll be getting your messages when we're doing the lives. And I'll be like, yo, come through. So you gotta jump on here one of these nights. And you know what? We'll do this right now. Boom. Since I'm taking it easy, if you gotta go to bed, do your thing. I know some of you have to go to work, but I know a lot of you now are retired. So some of you could hang out. We're gonna hang out here a bit. Catch us on the rebound if you know, that's always cool. Y'all can watch us in the AM or whenever you get your break. And we're going to get into a little more squatchy business. Let's see. Can we share this? I'm going to go like that. I'm sharing a link here. And we're going to remove the cookies. And there it is. In case anyone wants to jump on, you're more than welcome. But yeah, I was going to get into more of the Dr. Matthew Johnson. So the past couple streams, the last one we did, we got in a little deeper into the Dr. Matthew Johnson case, which you know, there's a particular report of his. We got into the Oregon Caves report. And we did that because we went down a whole Southern Oregon spiral. There was a report we read out of Southern Oregon, out of the Oregon Caves Monument, and we started touching base on different reports from that area. And one of the cases was the one of Dr. Matthew Johnson, the one that he had with his family out there. And what's up, Pyromedic? Working it hard and taking it hard still. What else are we gonna do? But then there's another case which helped them develop this spot or find. We founded it. Yeah, who knows? Anyone ever been to Soha? I believe that's the name of his location in Southern Oregon, where and we read the other night that let's see, it was Adam Davies that was with him, correct? And the portal opened up and these small hairy beings came out. And so we got into this whole small hairy being trip, the hairy dwarves of Venezuela. that we got into touched a bit on the Hopkinsville Goblins case, which was a year after the Venezuelan Harry Dorf's case, which I find very interesting. Possible connection, I don't know. Um, what else? We touched on a few other things. Oh, the Buck Wuss that Thomas Seawood had mentioned over on Bigfoot Fades' show that particular night. And I'm sure we could keep going down, and we will at some point again go down the Harry Little People Road, and we'll touch base on it. Maybe even tonight a bit again. We're gonna try and find where Dr. Johnson talks about this experience. I'm trying to find that. Maybe someone out in the chat or listening later knows the video. But when you look up, let's see, I punched in Dr. Matthew Johnson portal, and this is what you get here. So you get Florida Sasquatch there that says he found a portal like the docs. Stephen Fry interview, Dr. Matthew Johnson, and then let's see, Dr. Matthew Johnson, how to reach out to the Xanu, part one. And I believe that is the Xanu, is that the little Bigfoots that he's talking about, right? He gets deep into it and it's pretty far out. And if you don't know the doc, yeah, there we go. Team Squatch USA. It's Team Squatch in USA. Let me get that right. I was trying to think of his channel yesterday. I was mixed up with Politis's new documentary, which is Sasquatch American Sasquatch, right? Or is it Sasquatch America? One of the no American Sasquatch. And then Sasquatch America was a brother who recently passed, I believe, a YouTuber, Bigfooter. Um, and so I was like kind of scrambled with all those names. But yeah, Team Squatchin USA is his YouTube channel. And I mentioned how, yeah, I've gotten to meet the doc before. I've never been to any of his gatherings or anything like that. They look interesting. They remind me of a lot of the different gatherings that different Bigfoot groups have. And some of them, uh have their vibe and their beliefs and everything. And I would imagine that most of those groups, you're probably going to be along the same beliefs of things. Maybe you have some differences here and there, but for the most part, like you're not going to have, and we're talking in Squatch language here, you're not going to have apers really chilling with the Wu Tangers, right? Uh, Usually there's discrepancies there, and you know there could be issues. And then there's people who could do both. There's people that do, believe a certain thing and others complete opposite and they could all get along. But you just hear a lot of things that have happened and different issues like I mentioned, or did I mention already? And I'll just say DP. Yeah, I won't say because I'm always mentioning his name. We bring him up all the time here, and we will bring him up here in a bit also. Probably know who. DP, on the beginning of his videos over at Can-Am Missing, uh, he always has a little talk in the beginning and he'll give you like a little insight on things that are going on, maybe like on comments, some of the YouTube comments, but it seems like there's stuff maybe from other platforms maybe that I don't know. I don't know where some of the stuff's coming from. And it could be like negative stuff, either attacks or just negative comments, and he'll bring it up and stuff. And so I wonder where it's coming from at times. I don't know if maybe Facebook or on X. And I mentioned this because he recently mentioned that yeah, he got a knife in the back. And he was mentioning that it was someone that he had uh you know helped out recently. And I watch all his stuff, so I could already in my mind I have an idea who. And I'm just like, darn, I didn't see that coming, but there it is. And so who knows? I don't know. I'm just kind of babbling here. yeah, it gets weird with, different groups and just different people, right? Even in the UFO world, same thing. It's weird. And I'm just kind of explaining this maybe for those that haven't been to maybe a Bigfoot gathering or gone squatching or what sky watching and different things like that. Maybe paranormal hunting. But anyway, I'm trying to find, let's see, could we find a video explaining the portal and these beings? I don't know. So there's Bigfoot walking through a portal at Camp Xenu, but I don't know if this is the one with the little ones. So we'll have a listen. I know yesterday we watched the para breakdown video and it was about 10 minutes. So we got a big dose of the doc, but I wanted to get a little more insight on that encounter. So we'll have a listen here and see what this is about. And if we need to, we'll fast forward or just stop. But if it starts getting into some of the information I'm trying to dig for, then we will let it play. So here we go. And this is from his channel. So let's see. We'll get some audio. Let's turn it down a little bit. Bump up the quality. Bam. Here we go.
Hello YouTube fans, it's Dr. Matthew Johnson, and this video is a little late, but as you've seen in the last video, Cynthia and I have been busy with a lot of stuff. We just bought a home,
Oh,
went
yes,
back on
Juliana.
vacations, entertaining people on 2 separate occasions. So anyway, I want to make this quick. On October 31st, Halloween night, Cynthia and I were out at our campfire pit, and we were enjoying time by the fire with the dogs. And then I noticed
Wow, Bim Jim.
Champ was sitting there, which is uncharacteristic of Champ, quietly, which is uncharacteristic of Champ, sitting there quietly staring to the south from the fire pit area. Now I know.
And I believe this is Southern Oregon as well. We'll have a listen here, see if we could figure that out.
With past experiences with my toy fox terriers, if they are staring at something, that means they can see something that I can't see, so I start taking pictures. For example, in the greenbelt behind our house in Puyallup, Washington.
It says Bim Jim's device is unaccessible. So I wonder what that is. I guess Bim Jim's clicking the link.
Atlas was staring nonstop, and so I started taking pictures, and I caught 2 Bigfoot forest people, or Jean knew, back in the brush behind some trees watching us. On another occasion at the Southern Oregon habituation area, Atlas was staring once again. So I started taking selfies, and I caught a Bigfoot forest person, or Janu, watching me from the trees behind me. So
Janu, is that how you pronounce it?
I started taking pictures at our campfire pit area, and you'll see a little Champ in the bottom right hand corner of the picture, just sitting there staring. And I started taking pictures, and I saw nothing with my eyes. Cynthia saw nothing with her eyes, but the camera caught him, and that's not unusual. You've seen a lot of my other.
I like that one. I say that also, Blazer. The little grade A maple syrup.
Pictures that I posted online, and occasional videos of cameras capturing the Jean when your eyes can't see them, and I tell you about it in my videos and in my book. They vibrate at a higher frequency than we do, which takes them out of our visual field of range. And dogs and cats.
And we've heard that a lot. And I'm totally with that, things vibrating faster, slower, and all that, and could certain things vibrate out of this existence? Yeah, I think so. Remember the bees disappearing for a while. Some people were theorizing that they went to another dimension for a bit. Interdimensional bees.
Cats can see them, and including the orbs, and our eyes have difficulty seeing them. I can see them occasionally. So can some other people that come to our weekend Camp John New.
Gotcha. Yeah, we'll give it a shot. We'll give it a shot right now.
Events. Others are learning how to see them. But nevertheless, when I was snapping pictures, I could not see anything, but the camera captured them. So I'm just simply going to let you watch the pictures in this video.
Oh,
They're pretty cool. It's a Janu walking through a portal on our property, our new property by our campfire pit.
uh-oh. Here, let me turn this down. I'm gonna turn the audio down, but whoa. It looks like me after I exhale. But yeah, no, very interesting. And it does, I mean, I could see, what looked like, I don't know, arms or something. I would imagine these are the arms here, maybe legs down here, another arm here. If it's a Sasquatch we're looking at, I don't know. But let's see. Does it move? I think he just said a picture. Or is it just smoke from the pit? Yeah, I don't remember seeing this one. Audio still playing. Or the music, the X-Files theme song is playing in the background there, so that's why I muted it. Yeah, I've never seen these pictures before. Oh. Got some yellow outlining there to help us out a bit. I didn't even see all that. I think this is a different picture here. Poor bees biological collapse. Hashtag keep the pollen naders happy. Yes, I like that. Hillbilly Herb, what's up, brother? Speaking of pollinators. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know about these pictures. I was trying to get more info on the portal situation and the small little Ewok type beings. I guess it's not here. We're just kind of just giving it a shot. I'm gonna keep digging for that video. But as Janu, let's see.
Enjoyed the video of the Janu walking through the portal near the campfire pit on our property. Always pay attention to what your dogs can see that you can't see, what your cats can see that you can't see. If they're sitting there staring at something and you're going, that's unusual behavior, start taking pictures. Hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you at a Camp Janu weekend event next summer in 2022. God bless.
All right. Thanks, Doc. And oh yeah, no. So Zanu, what was interesting, yesterday we had read a few things on the doc, and I guess I must have taken that down already. I don't see the Brave search that we did on it. But let's see, nope. All right. But what it reminded me of, because out here, the Zanu, I think he spelled it Z-A-N or Z or X, is it? Or Z? either way, I was getting it confused with yeah, the Scientology um Xenu, and I'm not saying there's any connection. I don't think it just triggered that Xenu, and I was like, wait, Xenu. I was like, hold on, let me take a look. And the Scientology has their beliefs, and they believe, I believe, extraterrestrials, right, come up, and Xenu and all that. Um, I thought it was. I was like, no, no, hold on. And so yeah, no, I don't think there's any connections, folks. So don't get it twisted. But it just I wanted to look into the name a little more. And it's weird if you've gotten into some of the Scientology beliefs, it's 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 a trip. It's interesting. They do believe in some sort of extraterrestrials and the different type of work they need to do. We've gone to several of their buildings out here in LA. And the last one we went to accidentally up here in South Pasadena, we just happened to be walking by. We were going to go check out this building, and we somehow ended up at the South Pasadena Scientology building. But yeah, so I've looked into their stuff before, and yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna keep digging for that portal encounter with the doc. What else? It also reminded me of, so this is also bouncing off of yesterday's stream. We're getting into the little creatures, little hairy creatures, or creatures coming out of UFOs and stuff like that. And we last left off on the Hopkinsville case. So we went from South America to North America. And it was funny because today DP over at Can-Am, yeah, brought up this investigator, and we've brought him up recently also, and he's been doing the rounds, over at STM, and I don't know where else have I seen him lately, and that's Stan Gordon. Yeah, DP brought him up today, and I was gonna bring him up yesterday, but the stream started getting uh a little, and I was like, all right, we'll just call it good for tonight and bring some of this stuff up on a later stream. And so here we are. So we were going to bring this up also along with those other encounters. I wanted to include this because let's see, where am I? Gotta share this. Is the Chestnut Ridge incidents, and STM has covered this as well. And I'm sure there's other documentaries you could find on the Chestnut Ridge. And what is it about the Chestnut Ridge area that brings all this high strangeness? I wonder. So, anyway, Chestnut Ridge, located in southwestern Pennsylvania, is renowned as a hotspot for paranormal activity, particularly Bigfoot and UFO sightings. The area, especially along the 72-mile stretch of the Chestnut Range, has a long history of unexplained phenomena dating back to the 1800s. Stan Gordon, a legendary researcher and author with over 60 years of experience investigating UFOs, Bigfoot, and cryptids in Pennsylvania, has documented numerous cases from the region. He reports a surge in sightings, including a low altitude UFOs, daylight Bigfoot encounters, and giant prehistoric bird like creatures known as thunderbirds. One of the most notable events occurred on October 25th, 1973, when 15 witnesses reported a large red sphere hovering near a pasture in Fayette County, followed shortly after by sightings of two large, hairy, 7-foot tall creatures with glowing green eyes. Hmm. The 27 teen documentary Invasion on Chestnut Ridge, produced by STM. Yep, Explorers. So y'all could check that out if you want to learn more about the Chestnut Ridge. But yeah, it's just one of those spots. And it also made me think. So this is, let's see, 73. And it made me think, because I'm like, Pennsylvania, it's a never been, but seems very trippy, like bunch of old world buildings and, you know, hauntings. Seems very haunted to me, very old. And yeah, you have all different cryptids. Bigfoot is big in Pennsylvania, I've learned. And yeah, apparently UFOs and missing people. So going back to DP, there's there was a rash of missing kids. I think it was during the 50s in Pennsylvania that he focuses on. And it makes me wonder, wonder if it makes you wonder, uh, what was happening there? And I try to pull up, let's see, I did find a little something, and it was also a Brave search. And see what it says about that. So, David Politis, a former police officer and researcher, has identified Pennsylvania as a major cluster of unexplained missing persons cases, including children, with a notable concentration of incidents from the 1950s onward. Mhm. According to Politis, just under 40 missing persons cases in Pennsylvania fit the missing 411 profile, cases involving individuals who have vanished under mysterious circumstances, often found in remote, rugged terrain like boulder fields, with no other signs of struggle, tracks, or blood, and sometimes with no explanation for how they got there. So, while many of the cases documented in the Pennsylvania cluster date back to the late 1800s and early 1900s, the pattern continued into the mid 20th century, including the 1950s. Notable cases from this area include, and there's several cases there. Yeah, I don't know. I have to go deeper into, I guess, individually go into one of those cases and figure out to see if there is any connection between them. Uh, anyone have any idea what was going on around that time that may have caused this rash of disappearances? Was there other reports of high strangeness around these years and maybe these areas? I'd be curious to know what areas these disappearances in Pennsylvania were happening, where in Pennsylvania they were happening. And yeah, just thought I'd bring those few things up tonight. And then let's see. On a later note, we're still gonna head back to South. We weren't done with South America, folks. We're not done with it yet. So we will be getting into some more stuff from down south. And I seen the Bigfoot Mapping Project got a bunch of stuff. Like if you look at Nepal, I believe it's all lit up yellow, so it looks like a bunch of reports there. So we'll go international again here soon. And yeah, watch little teaser there. So Bigfoot of the Amazon jungle, the Mapinguari. Yeah, so we'll learn a little about that next. And let's see, jump in the chat really quick. Yeah, good night to you, PNW. We're about to wrap things up here also. I think we pretty much got off what I want. Well, yeah, we got those fresh reports off, and just tapping back into some of the high strangeness that comes with Bigfoot. And has anyone been to the docks spot? We'd like to know about your experience there. Is there high strangeness? Is there portals opening up there? Is there little hairy beings jumping out of there? It's Bigfoot making appearances in his area. Oh man, I'm gonna need some. I'm having some audio issues. One of my mixers is taking a, you know what? So I'm gonna have to do some. And then we're gonna check out Bim Jim. Let's see. This is my first trip through a portal. So he's sharing a link there. Right on here. I'm trying to pop that up in the. There we go. I'll check that out, Bim Jim. And I don't know, maybe because you were just using audio, maybe because it gave me like a warning sign over here, and I tried clicking on it. I couldn't click on it, but it was telling me that it was having some sort of issue, maybe because you were just using the mic. So we'll try and figure that out too. But yeah, I think we're gonna wrap this up for now. And yeah, so the mixer is back. There's a little USB port. And I was wondering why it wasn't turning on. And I was like, what is happening here? What did I do? And this is the tractor control Z2. I guess these are discontinued now too. They don't make them any longer. Super cool, fun mixer. This little spot back here, it's almost like a square, but it's a USB port. And I guess I got to replace that. I don't think there's any soldering involved. I did look up a YouTube video that didn't really explain much, but in the comments, I was able to figure out that was the issue, and they kind of explain what you need to do. So I don't know. I guess we're gonna have to crack this baby open, maybe find a replacement USB port there for the mixer, and hopefully get it back going. Yeah, I was kind of hitting a wall there with all this, but I'm glad I made a little headway, and hopefully I could link up with someone out here that could help me out with that, because I'm not the greatest with electronics. And yeah, so we're gonna be at the shop tomorrow. Heads up. And yeah, just keeping an eye out for things. Let's see, anything else we got going on here tonight? I think we're gonna call it good. I try to line up my outro. Yeah, so I appreciate everyone stopping by, hanging out, sharing a little bit of your time with us over here. And maybe this might encourage you to share maybe your encounter, your report. And yeah, just let us know. Drop a comment, leave us a message. Y'all stay safe. Have a good rest of your week. And here it is. All right, cool. Bless up, everyone. We out.